Hello everyone, how are you doing today? Today I'm going to be here talking to you guys about a story, an experience that I had in the year of 2019. This was something very nice that happened to me, a very good experience. And today I'm going to be here talking about angels that God put in our lives to help you out when we are going through situations that we think we have no way out, but we do. And God send us good ways and good people and in shapes of angels to help you out. So I'm going to be telling you an experience that I had in the year of 2019. I was working in a certain place in a company, and I got fired because I got sick. And I got sick because of the company, because they were doing some repairments in the company, like construction. And I got sick because of all the dust and everything that was going on there. And I got something in my nose that it was very hard to heal. So I had to go to the hospital and everything. They gave me some medications and told me that I should stay home for about 1 day. And so the doctor gave me a day off from work, and then he gave me a paper. So when I presented this paper to my boss at that time, he got angry and he said that he needed someone who were who cared more about the job, not a person like me, you know. He said, I need somebody that has compromise with the work. So he fired me. But then when this happened to me, at the moment I was very angry, and I was asking myself, why am I going through this? But then God knows everything, and for everything God has a purpose. At that time I was living far away from my house, so it's about 10 years that I don't live with my family anymore. I'm always traveling. And I was at that time, at that point, I was also far away from my family. And during that days, while I was working and before I got fired, I knew that my father was not doing good. But then I didn't know, the real situation that he was going through. And he was hospitalized. And then when I got fired, he got worse. He got worse. He was in a very worse situation. And I moved to a place to work in another place at a hostel, in the south of Brazil. And at this hostel, I met a girl from the United States. She's from Colorado. Her name is Eugenia. Eugenia. And I was very sad at that moment because I wanted to go home and I didn't have enough money to go. I was waiting for this company to pay me because in Brazil, I don't know how it works in other countries, but when you are working in some company and then they fire you, they have to pay you some taxes. So I was waiting for me to have these taxes, employee taxes paid me back so I could buy a ticket to go to my house. And it took a long time for them to pay me. So I moved to this hostel when I was working there. And then this girl from the United States came to this hostel and we built a friendship. And she's a very nice person. And then one day we were talking and then she was asking me how my life was. And I told her that I was not feeling good because my father was in a very bad situation at the hospital and I didn't have money to go there to visit him, to see him, to check him out, how he was doing. And she is Chinese, she's, I think, Chinese um, descendant, if I'm correct saying like this. And then some of her family are from China. And then one day I was at the reception working at the hostel. She came with an envelope and she told me that in the Chinese New Year's Eve, they have a tradition to help people out with something, if I'm correct. And she gave me an envelope, because she said today is New Year's Eve according to Chinese calendar, and it says that we have to give people a gift. So he gave me this envelope, And when I opened it up, it was $100. And then she told me, "This is my gift for you to go to your house to see your father." And I cried so much because I was talking to her before and I was telling her, because she knew that I was not feeling well. And I told her, I'm feeling very sad because I got fired and now my father is in this situation and I don't have money to go there to visit him. And then she gave me this envelope and she told me, "This is for you to go to see your father. It's a gift from me to you." And until this day, 4 years has been passed by, and I will never forget the attitude, what she did for me, because this girl, she was sent from God, because she could have been in any other place. Brazil is a huge country, is a giant country. She could have been in any other place, in any other city, or even in the same city that we were, but she could have been in other neighborhood. But she was exactly at that time in the same place that I was working in a very hard situation that I was living, to help me out. So she was an angel, I'm sure, that God put in my way. So, and funny fact is that after she gave me this $100, in Brazil, the currency is real, our money. I went to a shopping mall, to the mall, to go to these places that we exchange money. And at that time, $100 was exactly the same amount in Brazilian money that I needed to buy the ticket to go to my house. It was exactly the same bus ticket price. And this is not a coincidence, This was God. This is God. And I went home and I stayed with my father, taking care of him together with my sisters. Unfortunately, my father, he couldn't make it, He passed away, but I don't complain because I think it was part of the journey, because it was God's plan in his life. But until this day and for the rest of my life, I am very grateful for this girl, for Eugenia, because what she did for me was so human. What she did for me was a blessing so huge that she's gonna be blessed for the rest of her life. Because when you help somebody that is in need, you're gonna be very blessed. And after years later, last year, 2022, I was working in a cruise ship, and this cruise ship, the itinerary of this ship was the USA and Mexico, and I was in Los Angeles, and a week after, I think, she was there. And then I posted a picture of me in Los Angeles, in Santa Catalina Island, in California, close to Los Angeles. And I posted a picture of me there. And when she saw, she told me, "I can't believe you are there, because I was there, a few days ago." And then we almost met each other again. And it was really a plan of God, a God's plan to meet this girl, because she is a friend who helped me out in a very hard situation. And also, something that is very interesting is that many times in our lives, we will find people that are not our family in blood, We don't have connection of the same blood. But you can find people who are not from your family, but that they will help you much more than your close family, And can you hear this noise? It's the people cutting the grass on the other side. But I think you can hear me, right? So I decided to make this video here because I feel very blessed and very thankful for meeting this girl. And we are good friends. And I hope to meet her again. I don't know if it's in Brazil or in the US or some part of the world. But Eugenia, thank you so much. I have thanked you a lot of times, in messages, telling you that I will never forget what you did for me. But now I'm making this video here, being thankful because of what you did. And today, as I woke up in the morning, I had this thought in my head that I had to make a video about this story because it's a very beautiful story, It's not easy for you to find people who will help you out like that. You know, it's very hard because we are living in a very crazy world nowadays. It's very hard to find people like this, but we still have good people like Eugenia, who has a huge heart. And yeah, I just wanted to share this story with you guys, and I hope that you like it. And if you are going through a bad situation in your life, don't think that there is no way out, because God puts people in your life that you can't even imagine where they are gonna come from, you know, like this girl. She came out all this way out of the United States to Brazil to meet me in that hostel, to help me out with something that I was needing at that moment, to go to see my father. And I have no words, and nothing that I do will ever pay, you know, what she did for me, because this the attitude that she had towards me, it's a blessing and it's something to cherish. So Eugenia, thank you so much, and I'm thankful for the rest of my life for what you did for me. You are a very nice person, and if you need my help, or if you need a helping hand, I will do whatever I can to help you out with my possibilities. Thank you so much for everything that you did for me. That's it.